Okay, here we go. We're on the draw. So I'll keep this hand in a heartbeat. And let's see what happens now. My opponent revealing that they're playing Misty Rainforest, probably a Delver deck. Maybe, yep. Maybe copying me. We're going to lead off with a Delver. And this is pretty basic ABC stuff here. We are going to hopefully spike. Ooh, our opponent is playing a little Deathblade action. I don't mind Deathblade. Alright, we get Thoughtseize. Not really able to stop that. And we're hoping to draw a Brainstorm would be nice, an Abrupt Decay, a Lightning Bolt. Really, there's a number of things we could draw here. We're most likely going to lose our True-Name, yep. And there's a decent chance our opponent eats our True-Name with Deathrite. Certainly, alright. Swords to Plowshares, yep. Okay, well, not really much we can do about that sequence. We can, let's see. I'll play Misty. I'll play Delver. I don't want to Wasteland here because Wasteland, excuse me, Wasteland actually gives our opponent the mana, off of Deathrite. So Wasteland doesn't really add anything here, unless our opponent has another fetch land, in which case we'll feel silly for not having Wastelanded. However, I think that, well, yeah, let's just see what our opponent is up to. Alright, our opponent misses a land drop. That's pretty good for us. We want to stop on my turn before we draw. We revealed a Delver, I believe, if I saw that correctly, so we don't want to reveal it. Now we can decide if we want to fetch. I don't want to fetch. I want to draw. And I want to cast a Delver here, which we will. And then I think that I want to take out my opponent's Scrubland. And the reason for this is that it casts more of my opponent's best spells against me. So let's see what our opponent chooses to do here. Exiles their own Thoughtseize, maybe? Not sure. Yeah, our opponent is just going to exile our True-Name Nemesis during the end step to go back to 19. Okay. Now let's see what our opponent is up to. We could have tried to take out the Tropical Island and pin our opponent off of blue mana, which is generally, you know, a pretty reasonable thing to do. But I suspect that my opponent only has one Scrubland in the deck, and being able to cut my opponent off of two very valuable colors of interactive mana here is meaningful to me. Okay, let's put these triggers on the stack, and I will not reveal. I will still not reveal. But True-Name Nemesis is so good that I really want to draw it. And as such, I am willing to do whatever it takes, including not flipping my Delvers, in order to do so. Here comes Underground Sea. Here comes Volcanic Island. And here comes the True-Name. I choose you, Pikachu. Alright. Yeah, True-Name is so good here. And my opponent can't really do much with the Deathrite now. What are they choosing here? Black mana. Abrupt Decay, a Delver. I accept the charges. But Turbo True-Name is doing exactly what we want here. Alright, we will definitely... We're not happy that our opponent had Brainstorm. But I'm not crushed. Obviously, I would have preferred, in the situation that my opponent draws Brainstorm, to have gotten rid of the Tropical Island rather than the Scrubland. But I'm still not too broken up about it. Let's see what we get off Delver. I do want to reveal Brainstorm, as that's basically the best draw in our deck. And then I want to go to combat. Let's engage in combat. Now let's engage in the art of the Brainstorm. Cool. We have 3 cards in our yard, so we can get rid of a Scalding Tarn and a put a Gurmag on top. We can actually just jam if we put Scalding Tarn Deathrite back, or we can just put Scalding Tarn Daze back. I think we put Scalding Tarn and Daze back. Yeah. Play that. Crack that. Now we'll get another Underground Sea. 1, 2, jam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now our opponent can't use the Deathrite as effectively, which is good for us. We're basically putting all of our eggs in one basket that our opponent doesn't have main deck Supreme Verdict, which would be absurd against us, of course. It wouldn't be the end of the game, but it would be really, really, really good. Of course, they would have to have another land. I generally don't expect my Deathblade opponents to pack Game 1 Supreme Verdict, which is why I'm comfortable making this play. See, I had a feeling. My opponent getting rid of their own Flooded Strand in order to Abrupt Decay. No, what? Just get that snap out there. Okay. All right, we're going to F6 here, and we're going to F6 next turn as well, because we're basically not able to do anything. There's Stone Daddy. The old Stone Father. Probably getting Better Skull. Meanwhile, we are going to truck in for a big chunk of damage. My opponent may have Abrupt Decay. Oh, no. Okay. That strikes me as an odd play. Well, I guess my opponent just has to hope that I mess up. Okay. Let's attack with our squadron of goons and buffoons. My opponent has 6 cards in the graveyard. Alright. Now we will exile Swords to Plowshares. And yeah, it's on you, opponent. I think my opponent is basically stuck here. They can put in a Batter Skull, but that can't block True-Name, nor can it block Insectile Aberration. So I'm pretty sure that my opponent's missing land drop is going to be their demise. Yeah, there is a Living Weapon Batter Skull. Okay. Well, alright, that makes things pretty easy. And there's that. My opponent can't really do anything. They're pinned between a rock and a hard place. Yep. What do I like? I like Kolaghan's Command a decent amount. I like Umezawa's Jitte. I even like Painful Truths. I'm not thrilled with Edict. I do like Thoughtseize. Not thrilled with Spell Pierce. That's going to become a recurring theme here, which is why I've contemplated cutting Spell Pierce entirely and just playing a bunch of Thoughtseizes in the main. I'm not thrilled with Force of Will for obvious reasons. I can cut a Daze on the draw. And what else? We can just cut all of our Force of Wills. It's not a humongous thing to get rid of all of them. We have 2 to cut. And the big options here are Force, Thoughtseize, Daze, Delver. And I'm not really sure. I think that the card to cut is just Force of Will. But I could be convinced to leave in like 1 and cut another Daze. Tank. Gurmag Angler also isn't the worst card to cut. The deck may also not need 2 Gurmag Anglers now that we're all on these True-Name Nemesis. Gurmag is good against Eldrazi, though. I'm not sure. What I think I want to do, though, is I think I'd want to cut 1 more Force for sure, and then the last card. Let's think. You know what, let's make it a Daze. We're just going to try it like this. I'm not 100%, but we're going to try it like this. And we're going to keep this hand. Give me just a sec. Okay. Sorry for the brief delay. I was being called away for a moment. Okay. So, my opponent, yeah, we get to F6. Sorry. My apologies. And now we're going to start with a Scalding Tarn. Crack that. Excuse me. Get ourselves an Underground Sea. And fetch, cast Deathrite. F6. And another F6. So, let's see. Nope. Our opponent is playing the waiting game. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that we are going to cast a Ponder. And if my opponent spell pierces, so be it. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate any of these cards. We can put Jitte on the bottom. We can put Brainstorm in the middle. And we can put Trop on top. I will not shuffle. And then I will play a Wasteland. And then I'm going to Wasteland my opponent's Tropical Island. And then we're going to cast our Delver, looking to flip it off that Brainstorm. All right. Let's go to our combat step. And we will see what our opponent wants to do. Use it for Brainstorm. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Our opponent is using their fetch land. That's fine as well. And probably going to get... I would guess Scrubland, unless my opponent wants to get Tundra? Maybe Tundra. Bayou, okay. And then we're going to exile that, making a blue, casting a Delver. And then we will F6. That'll probably get a Tundra. But now my opponent can't cast Abrupt Decay. So what are they thinking? Maybe they're going to cast Deathrite and Swords my Deathrite? Oh, they're getting Savannah. Okay. No blue mana, huh? All right. Well, I'm not gonna get angry. Okay. We will reveal that Brainstorm and draw it, and we will let's see. I will cast a Ponder. Yeah, okay. We'll put the we're gonna Wasteland our opponent off of Savannah here, and we will I think we're going to put the Jitte above the Decay. So I think it goes Decay, Jitte, Wasteland, and then no shuffle, and then attack, and then Wasteland my opponent's Savannah. And here comes Wasteland. And F6 and F6 again. All right. Well, c'est la vie. We will go with a Volcanic and an Umezawa's Jitte. And F6. F6 again. I wonder what my opponent is doing here. Kind of weird. Alright, we'll go with a Trop. And we will just run out this Snapcaster Mage. See what our opponent has to say about that. We'll target Ponder. That resolves. But it's getting plowed. I don't care. We have such a high density of creatures in our deck at this point. I just want to ponder for some creatures. This merits a shuffle. Yeah, Daze, Decay, Tarn. Not enough action. If our opponent casts Jace here, though... No, okay. What is going on? The Emissary of Trest. That's going to be a tougher one for us to handle. We will play our Deathrite. And we will play our Wasteland. And we will equip our Jitte like so. We'll do it like that. Okay. Now I wonder. Obviously that was unexpected from a deck with Caracas to then get Leovolded, but I understand. There's some sense here. I get it. Now, what would I like to do? Well, I can give my opponent I can spot my opponent 2 cards by wasting and decaying. What is my opponent? Garrick Relentless. Good lord. That's good. That may have been an error, though. On my opponent's part. Not killing Deathrite strikes me as an error. My opponent is going to get spotted a free card. What does this do? All right, well, we are going to Brainstorm. We'll put a Ponder underneath. Painful Truths can go on top and Brainstorm can go underneath it. And then I don't really want to attack here. We'll just send the turn back. Let's see how my opponent wants to react here. Maybe I'm supposed to take out Bayou, I'm not sure. I'll exile that Savannah. Make blue mana. Cast a Brainstorm. Alright, we hit True-Name, that's good. We can put True-Name on top and Painful Truths underneath that. Painful Truths, and then True-Name on top. That's dead. During combat. Well, let's see what our opponent does here. Yeah. Okay. And we untap, we cast True-Name. 1, 2, 3. I really want to push this through a force will. Okay, we choose you. Then I'll cast the Ponder. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what happens now. Our opponent didn't want to use any, didn't want to pay any extra life. I wonder. So we've got Force still, which is good. Sword of Fire and Ice, huh? I think it's too good. Okay. We're going to get it. All right. Well, that was interesting. That's never happened. Cool. We win. Neat. We'll be back for round 2 after this. All right.